Time to look through the newspapers for you this morning with the comedian Jared Christmas and Claire Emes from Ipsos MORI. Morning once again to both of you. Claire, to The Observer, republicanism in the UK is on the rise. I'm really surprised at this.
Well, it's a bit of a counter-trend because actually all the polls are showing that the royal family is doing fantastically well. The Jubilee, the royal wedding obviously last year, and the Olympics had a massive boost for the royal family. So don't get me wrong, I just thought this was quite interesting because it does show, it says here that despite all of that, anti-monarchists say their support is rising. British Republicans have grown from 9,000 supporters to 26,000 today, so we're still talking pretty small numbers. But interesting nonetheless. I thought, and they're talking about what might happen if the Queen lives for quite a lot longer but is not able to reign. What will happen then? That could cause some issues, I think, for the monarchy.
Jared?
Yeah.
What do you make of it all?
She looks great
As
on
someone
money.
from way down under.
I think the thing is, like, Americans go nuts for the royals, but that's because they don't have them. And I think when you've got something, maybe you don't appreciate it that much. I think they've been pretty cool recently. I mean, naked billiards, that's awesome.
I mean, what is the feeling in New Zealand? Obviously in Australia, they're pretty split on it all.
Yeah.
But what about New Zealand?
I really have zero opinion on it, and I'm not sure, I don't know. I think New Zealand's pretty happy to be involved in the Commonwealth. It means we get invited to the Commonwealth Games, which is a chance for us to win some medals. So I think we want to stay in for that, maybe.
Well, see what you get out of
it.
it.
Sport, yeah.
Fair enough, can't blame you for that. Jared, to the Mail on Sunday.
Yeah.
They're claiming a victory, which is all well and good because it's all about clampers.
Yeah, but it was the Mail that started the whole thing, a whole campaign to get private clamping banned. And I can only speak from experience in that I almost got clamped in a supermarket because my ticket expired by 3 minutes. And I got out there to see a guy looming with his clamp and he was about to lay it on my car, and it was kind of like, it's 3 minutes, man, just be a human and give me some leeway there. And I think the problem is, you know, because it's private, they want money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, the worry is that because clamping's been outlawed, they'll find other ways of making money. Illegal ticketing, I think, is something that's now on the rise because they have to make the revenue from somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. One of them says here that they used to charge £80 to unclamp a vehicle, and now they're going to charge £100 for a ticket.
80, well, I tell you what, I got clamped in London. It's a few years ago in an area which I couldn't see any signposting to say you couldn't park there at all.
Yeah.
It was about 2 o'clock in the morning when I got back to the car. They had to drive me to the cash point. It was £350.
Yeah, see that...
And you sort of think, well, what can you do? Because if you don't pay up,
you don't get
your
car.
car.
I read a horrendous story about clampers doing a similar thing like that, but basically there was a child in the car. Do you know what I mean? And they basically held a mother at ransom to get their money out of it.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see the end of it under those circumstances.
Me too.
So stay with us, though. Lots more still to come, including Harry Styles and Haunted Mansion, apparently. And if you won the Euro Millions, would you keep your day job? 5 miles out. So looking through the papers with Jared and with Claire. Fascinatingly, dependent on Sunday, Claire, youngsters, teenagers, can't be bothered with drugs, it would seem, because they're too busy on the internet. Well, that's a positive thing, at least.
That's right, yes. So young people today are more interested in checking their Facebook profiles than rolling joints or dealing drugs. Just under 1 in 5 people aged 16 to 24 used an illicit drug in the past year, which is the lowest level since the survey began a decade and a half ago. I think that's really quite interesting. It shows that there's a real positive potentially to the fact that our teenagers are all sitting there being a bit lonely on the internet. I guess you're not gonna sort of sit there smoking a joint while you're talking to your friend on the computer. They're not getting together in the same way. So I thought this was really, really quite interesting. It's
a fascinating turn on events because there's so much concern, isn't there, about youngsters sitting there in their rooms online for hours at a time, but if it's stopping them doing some bad things, then...
Well, they're not doing drugs because they're lazy, by the sounds of it.
Well, you know, that's all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't mind that. Bit of Robo-Pop in the Sun, Jared.
Oh, yeah. I love this. A guy's been given the first bionic hand on the NHS, and that is cool because that is That is the future, and every boy who grew up watching films like RoboCop, Terminator, the lesser-known Cyborg by Jean-Claude Van Damme. Very exciting that that there's a guy out there who's got a robotic, and it works. It's attached to his nerve endings in his upper arm.
How they get that to operate is
it's incredible.
Beyond me.
And my favourite thing about it is he's got a forest scene on his hand, and I guess you can
personalise it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? You can do it with debit cards these days, so why not do it with a robotic arm?
I know.
And as you can see, it's so effective. He can play Jenga, which is quite fiddly at the best of times.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. He talks here about being able to hold hands with his daughter. I mean, we've both got daughters, and I just think that's just really lovely.
And do you know what? It's one of those. I mean, it won't be perfect, but you wonder where it's going to go. This sort of development now, where's it going to be in another 10 years? It'll be a whole different ball game, which is great. A bit of Scary Styles sticking with the sun, Claire.
Yes.
No, Harry needs an excuse for his hair looking like that.
Yeah, so One Direction star Harry Styles is moving into a £3 million house that apparently is haunted by the ghost of Dick Turpin. Apparently the outlaw's ghost is claimed to have been seen inside the house, and the sound of his famous horse Black Bess can be heard outside. I thought this was completely and utterly balmy, but actually our research shows that 42% of the British public do believe in ghosts. So there would be a lot of people out here perhaps being able to sympathise with him.
I think he could have got money off.
It's haunted. I want a discount.
Yeah, drop it down to 2 million.
2 million. Well, it's a 4-bedroom. That's why I can't get 3 million quid for a 4-bedroomed house. That's a lot of millions per bedroom.
But it's also got 3 reception rooms.
Oh, has it?
Yeah. So
I would imagine he will be having many parties.
Yeah, but you know what? Convert 2 of those reception rooms to bedrooms. Boom.
Oh, you could house the entire.
Got a bed and breakfast.
Well, yeah, you could do the whole of One Direction in one house. Which would be all right. It's one of those stories, isn't it? It makes a great headline, but
absolutely.
I don't know if I believe. You believe in ghosts? I'm not entirely convinced. Get in touch this morning. The Pope. We were covering this a bit yesterday, Jared.
Yeah.
The Pope's butler, former butler, on trial for theft of letters.
Yeah. It sounds like a Tom Hanks film,
doesn't it? Well, do you know what? There could be a movie in this somewhere down the line.
Easily, but you know, if it's exposing corruption, then you know, surely that we've got a right to know about it. Maybe, do we? It's that whole WikiLeaks issue,
it's one of those fascinating things, the deep, dark secrets of the Vatican.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we're almost out of time. I just want to very quickly look, Jared, at the Sunday Mirror. There's 148 million quid better off, but still doing a day job.
I love it, because people always think, well, why is he still doing his day job? He's still living in his normal house. He's got all this money. Yep, he's also got friends and family. People aren't just going to up sticks and just go, yeah, I've known you all my life, see you later, I've now got 148 million. I am done with you lot. And also, he's got a cool job, so why would you give it up?
Yeah, but he might move house at some point soon.
I guess
wouldn't blame him for that. Lovely, we'll see you both in an hour. Thank you for that. Let's get a check on the back pages for you. What have you got, Selena?